There's a Ben in there.
And a Sarah as well.
There's Pete and Eloise.
Young Callan is swell. Open wide, come inside. It's MasterChef.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Kristie.
Wasn't that a fun episode of MasterChef?
It was. I watched it through the round window.
I watched it through the rocket clock. Oh, wait. I can't see through the rocket clock.
You know who might have sat there with us and watched the episode too?
Who?
It's Hamble.
Hello, Hamble.
This is the last time we get to reference you, Hamble, because unfortunately this week Benita has gone home.
Bye-bye, Benita.
So, yeah, I mean, look, we chance to sing the Play School theme. Why not?
Yes.
It was an interesting episode. It's one of my favourite challenges, actually.
I know, the time auction, basically. Or the time sale.
I always like the time sale. It's a really good one. I think I tweeted out at one point, find halloumi, bid all of your time away, use 5 minutes, make halloumi, win.
That's a great plan.
It's my philosophy on how to win.
When you're finally on MasterChef.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were retweeting my cookies tonight. And by the way, if anyone saw on my Twitter at RedDwarf40 the cookies I was making, I don't even get those. I'm making them for my class.
There's some leftovers. Don't think that we're so like...
Don't tell them that.
I know you're trying to martyr yourself.
I want them to think I'm magnanimous and lovely and wonderful and I didn't give them a third of the batch and keep the rest of them for us.
Yes, and there's cookie dough in the fridge, which may or may not end up as my breakfast.
You better believe there's cookie dough in the fridge. So anyway, the elimination tonight comes obviously off the back of the challenge yesterday. Now, we have to talk about the challenge yesterday.
Indeed.
Because for a long period of time, it was almost going to be a different song. And we're not going to do that one tonight because we're going to save that one for later. But
yes.
Suffice to say that I will not be referring to Ben as Ben. And this is because there is a Ben and a Benjamin. And
Ben is awesome.
I struggle a little bit with Benjamin. We've said this before. If you're listening, hey, Benjamin, great to have you listening. Keep up the good work and love your beard. But I do struggle a little bit with the way he's been on the show, and so I don't confuse the two of them.
Yes.
Benjamin is now who I'm just calling Ben, and Ben is Gaston.
Because no one cooks fish like Gaston.
I'm saving the rest of that song for later.
Sorry.
I'm not going to do it. I will resist. I was singing it all of last night.
It was a genius play. So yesterday I had to work, and Chris was doing the other his food vanity project.
Food nerd vanity project.
So
thank you very much.
Food nerd vanity project. Drop a name. Hey, Finicky Baker, aka the Sweary Canary, aka Fiend Ewan from Bake Off. So I came home, and we watched the 10-play catch-up for, about 11 o'clock last night?
It was about 11 o'clock, yeah.
And for the first half hour, brilliant, great, understood everything that was going on, great play. Then, at the moment when...
it was the last changeover.
Yeah, it was Tamara handing over to Jess. It paused.
And didn't restart.
Didn't restart. But when we finally got to restart... There was no sound.
Now I know what you're all thinking. Well, it's your internet. Well, we've got NBN, copper to the node. I'll have you know.
Yeah.
And we really nothing else was a problem, and the ads played perfectly as they always do.
Oh yes, loud and clear.
Beautiful ads, and coincidentally, prices indeed are down. But so we decided to keep watching and just plough through.
And much to my delight, and I really regret that we couldn't have you all over for this, Chris decided to do his own dubbing for...
I may have dubbed everybody in the kitchen.
It was
and their
brilliant.
Conversation, including, by the way, picking the team that was going to elimination. Without audio and without knowing, I managed to pick which team it was and got the conversation spot on. I was thoroughly impressed with myself.
It was so amusing. I honestly can't remember it verbatim because I was just giggling like a loon. But trust me, if they need to make a Hercules Returns Volume 2, they should bring in Chris to be on the team.
I'd be thrilled. Now with the challenge last night, it brought back one of my sore points.
Which is?
Misha's on the wrong show.
Yes, she does need to be on Bake Off or at least a dessert cooking show because she was lost.
It would have to be Bake Off, one, because it's the greatest dessert show in the history of mankind, and secondly, and probably far more importantly, because, well, let's face it, they weren't bringing Zumbos back for a second series.
Well, the thing is, right, I'm not too sure if Mish is Bake Off quality yet or if she's less Bake Off and more Zumbos. We have to work that out.
Because she went into a situation where the first two had just smashed it. Absolutely smashed it out of the park. And I've tipped my cap a little bit early on these podcasts. I'm not hiding it. I am a huge fan of Sarah.
I know. Sarah's up there. Jess.
She's my tip.
Okay. Sarah, Jess, Eloise, what's her facey? Carly. She's pretty fucking... Well, the way... Oh, Carly.
The rescue job.
Friggin' hell, she just, like, donned a bloody cape, flew in like Supergirl and went, bitches...
But they were really, they when they did their handovers, it was like, okay, this is going really well. Yep, Sarah comes in, do a bit of a slaw. Yep, great. Hand over to Mish.
Gets the pork going as well.
Hands over to Mish, walks away.
Make a bow.
Sits down, looks at the screen and goes, what's she doing? What's she doing? And then Mish goes, dub over. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just running around the kitchen panicking.
I've got a spoon, I believe is one line that came out of your mouth at one point.
Yeah, it was one of my lines. Was, I got a spoon! There's a spoon! So...
I'm sure she was actually just running around going, this isn't a dessert! This is not a dessert! What am I to do?
What are you going to do? Creme pat! But it's a creme pat! I'm going to make creme pat!
See, the thing is, right, is I think strategically what Miss should have done is gone, you know what, I don't know what I'm going into out there. It could be a savoury or a dessert. If it's a dessert, I'm great. If it's a savoury, I'm screwed. I'm going to go last because then all I have to do is plate up. And if Mish did that, because she actually does have a very artistic and strong ability to plate, she would have been fine.
I mean, the thing is that she's likely to be saved. Although, actually, now I say that, you watch her get eliminated in Sweep Week.
No, that would be horrendous.
But you know how this works. Somebody tells you they're really good at something and it's the only thing they can do.
Hello, seafood dunce.
And the next thing you know, they're getting eliminated with it.
Well, Mish does have a talent for desserts, but we'll see how she goes. Now, I think we've picked on Mish too much because I'm sure she's, like, living this...
Well, she looked like she was in... Poor her. She was living at the whole challenge.
If she could self-flagellate and, like, you know, make restitution for the rest of her life, I think she was.
Then I didn't hate Benita's idea of... I didn't hate Benita's idea of using the maple syrup. Didn't hate that at all. Mm-hmm. I just thought that... And I thought that Gaston did a really good job of trying to work with that. He was like, I don't like this idea. And then he tasted it and went... No, actually, that could well and truly work.
And the thing is, right, but he's like, throw in more maple sauce. But if you're not confident with it and you're working with someone else's idea, you wouldn't be ready to, because you can always add more sauce. You can't take it back. So I think it's fair to not go in, you know, gung-ho and just drown it like it's a pancake.
And it was really interesting just to sort of watch the way that then, as the rest of them came in, they were like, No, I don't think we will be drowning it in maple syrup.
Nah.
I don't think we'll be doing that. And then the jelly.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
Ray certainly was not ready. Ray certainly was not ready for this jelly.
Because Ray was plating up now.
And when I got to that point of the episode, I believe my narrator was like, "Oh shit, where's the jelly?"
That's right.
Oh, there it is. What jelly? No jelly. There's no jelly here.
And there's a lot of got some bacon. Put some bacon on that. Is this parfait? I don't fucking know. Throw that on there.
Ray, where's your jelly? What jelly? We don't have a jelly. We don't have a jelly. I've got this empty tray. It's clear.
Poor Ray. He got a little cray-cray.
Ray got a little cray-cray, and the next thing you know, he was almost eliminated, but they hung on.
Yes. Thankfully, there was a good maple flavour through it.
And, you know, with the other team, Eloise, I have to give it to her again.
Yep.
That idea that she came up with, that was just insane.
Yes.
You know, get the can, let's shake the can. Let's a lot of can work this year.
There is a lot
There is a lot of pressurised can work this year.
But foam is in.
Foam is apparently the new parfait.
And you know what? If I could, like, design my own nightclub, because I'm not really a nightclub person.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. Because they have foam parties. I've seen it on... on a movie, and I think on NCIS or something like that once. There's like these foam parties.
That's a different foam.
I know, but imagine if you got a food foam into it. Like, Eloise, your whiskey bar should have a foam night. Like have a whiskey foam night. Just have like the top level is like a nightclub. Because you know when you go to those pubs that have like a nightclub at the top? Like in Byron Bay, I'm pretty sure there's one. Anyway, and you just have a foam party, but it's edible foam.
Suddenly you become Homer Simpson eating your way out of the foam party.
Yeah, but then but then, you know, when you want to pick up someone, you can go up and go, shall I defoam you? Like, and you can get a little erotic there.
Did you start at the defoaming line and work your way backwards?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course you did. That's so you. So Eloise planned a foam party and everyone else ran with it apparently.
Yep.
So that's how we ended up with the teams as they sort of sat.
And you got to give it to Benjamin too, who took a chance, but I think it was a calculated chance when he went, okay, I'm just making an ice cream and everyone can add elements to it.
Look, it worked long term, but
It was a cop-out.
It's a bit of a cop-out. And if his team had struggled to get anything on the plate that was really good on the grounds of we didn't have as much time as everyone else, he would have been the reason they went to elimination. So it's a big risk, but hey, it worked for him.
It was
Congratulations.
safe. It was middling.
Kudos to you, Ben. Average is the new black. Now, that took us to tonight. Speaking of black, people wearing black.
Waking up, donning black. I didn't know you had to wear your apron from the house.
For breakfast.
And to breakfast. Like, what is that?
Who gets up and goes, good morning, everybody, I'm putting my black apron on for breakfast?
Those crepes look really good too, by the way, tomorrow. Like, you can come to my house, cook me crepes any day of the week.
That's just an open invitation to anyone on MasterChef. If you want to come make us food, we won't say no.
Now, I know you're not a big fan, but I do like the Doughbox Diner with their crepes. You know, the first time I went there, I ordered the Goddess, and this really cute, like, obviously gay waiter came out and goes, Goddess, crepe for a goddess? And I'm like, that's me.
And from that moment on...
Yeah.
Doughbox was
in my heart forever. Many a night at the Enmore, staggering across the door. Anyway, back at the MasterChef Play School.
Back in MasterChef Play School.
Yes.
So they all lined up for their challenge and they were ready to do their bidding.
They pulled the knives.
They did pull the knives, indeed.
Yeah.
And then the Twitter comment, one of the Twitter comments of the night to me went to Kira on Twitter, and Kira's comment was very simple and it was very basic, but it spoke to the truth of MasterChef this season so far.
Cut right to the heart.
It was, I really hope somebody tries to cook that huge turkey in 15 minutes. Because it was just a flashback to gnocchi time. And you know, the idea of someone who can do a gnocchi in an hour and then someone goes, you know what, a turkey in 15 minutes, I can do that.
You know,
just set it and forget it oven would do that, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Mr. T pities the fool that doesn't use.
You know how I cook turkey? And I really like it too, because I'm like a scab like that. It's when you go and get the frozen turkey shoulder from Whatsy. Because I'd never eaten it before, because like all the turkey I've had is like been proper cooked turkey. And that's only been a couple of times because my family are all pork at Christmas fans. Anyway, so we're doing Christmas. I know I'm going off track, but fuck it. So we're doing Christmas at one of the disability houses that group homes I used to manage. And someone came up with this idea for a turkey shoulder. And I'm like, oh, God, it's going to taste like bloody like chicken roll or something, what you get from the canteen. Nah, fucking beautiful. Sold then.
Perfect.
Well done, Vesna. Good choice. Okay.
So anyway, back in MasterChef.
Yeah.
And so they all drew, and there was no one who really took a massive chance. Like, I didn't think that anyone really went heavy on that.
I mean, Benita went, she chose ingredients over time. So
I mean, but even still, 45 minutes is plenty of time
to cook prawns and like.
Again, you're cooking prawns, and it's she's used prawns a hell of a lot.
She
used them last night too. She set up everyone with prawns again too.
Yeah.
So.
It was just her thing.
I think that, I think there were a couple of things that I questioned in this one. Pete, when you said to us, Pete, that you were going to use some Greek yogurt in your meringue, I was in the kitchen at the time, and I believe what I yelled out was, what the fuck?
Yes, you did. That was quite loud. It startled one of the cats.
It did startle one of the cats and the dog.
And possibly the neighbours.
I don't really care about them. I'm more worried about the cat and the dog.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've never remotely thought to put Greek yogurt into a meringue, and the main reason would be that it's going to make the meringue fall.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why you'd make that choice.
Why would you make the meringue heavier?
But that's because I think he was doing it like it was. Is it the blancmange? I forgot to work out what that thing was that was in the Tower of Terror. But I think he was trying to copy that, and instead of putting the cream in, he put in the Greek yogurt.
Yeah, but you're still supposed to have some form of like meringue. Should, especially for that, should have been really light and really fluffy, and instead it just sort of oozed and everything fell apart.
But he could have made a custard as well. That might have set. But I do appreciate that he's tasted good, and I think with those cherries and stuff, he was on a dinner.
As they said, just call it a trifle, man. Just Greek trifle.
And if you fuck it up badly, eat and mess.
And Gaston, tip of the cap to you, Gaston.
Oh, no one cooks fish like Gaston. Peels artichokes like Gaston. Like, there's just so many things. Like Gaston, you're going to be so much fun.
Yes, especially given we're going to continue to call you Gaston, get used to it.
Because you were actually funny on Twitter as well. You know, you went on board with us and we like that as fans.
We're very much a fan of that.
Yeah.
So Gaston did a wonderful job. And what a guy. Gaston. So he was fine and he was safe.
I love what he did with the artichokes. Beautiful work.
Yeah, he did a very good job with them.
Yeah.
So
on to the ginger off.
The ginger off was fascinating.
They did ginger like 600 ways.
I like that Aaron went, so here's a ginger cake.
Yeah.
I hope it's not too big. Everyone else is producing really small stuff, and he's got this like mini island of a ginger cake.
There's so much ginger on that cake. It was like a bunch of redheads had gathered. I don't know. I'm trying to be funny, and it's not really working. Sorry, guys.
No, it's working quite well for me. So his ginger cake had girth to it.
Yes, and syrup.
Definitely girth and syrup. We need to open a bar and call it Girth and Syrup.
It'll open next to Eloise's whiskey bar. Whiskey and dessert bar.
If she doesn't call it Whiskey a Go-Go, the new generation, I'll be so disappointed. So you'll have in the same street, you'll have Whiskey a Go-Go and you'll have Girth and Syrup.
So the ginger off there, they were using like deep fried ginger and like ginger, what's it called? Preserved ginger or whatever it is.
I was really disappointed. I was a bit worried about Nicole saying that the whole thing comes down to which cake she uses, because not really.
No, could have been either one.
Didn't really. I mean, yeah, one was a little bit more dense than the other, but it had more flavour. Yeah,
and you know there was so much ginger. Do they put in some ginger megs or ginger spice?
There was a hint of ginger in the minge. Yeah, there was indeed a hint of ginger in the minge. So that was the ginger off, and they were both okay.
They were okay, yes.
Pete was in big trouble, and then we look at Benita. How do you burn stock?
She essentially burnt water.
Yeah. That's essentially what took place. Water burnt.
Water burnt. Look, she's burning the water.
It's a skill to burn water. That was...
I bet you it tasted fucking nice.
Oh, it would have been amazing. And then
I reckon it would have just blown Gary and George away.
And then what the hell was Gary up to in the judging where he basically commented, you know what I think?
What?
I think she had a lot of flavour in that stock before it burnt away.
You think?
So what, Gary? She didn't serve it because it burnt away.
She can't turn back time and grab the stock. Why don't you just go in the general vicinity and just start to do a collection?
Just waft it, Gary.
Maybe hang some plastic up to see if you can get some of the condensation to form in it and give it a lick.
Why don't you waft it, Gary? Just waft the stock.
Waft, Gary, waft.
It just becomes a Heston.
Gary.
It just becomes a Heston Blumenthal recipe.
Waft, Gary. Yeah.
It just becomes a Heston Blumenthal recipe now. It's the scent of the stock. You're not eating anything. It's one of those ones where it gives you like the Taubman sort of paint guide, but it's a scratch and sniff version. So, everyone just scratches it. Oh, stock.
What's that Simpsons one? It's a single plum.
Floating in a man's hat. In perfume, floating in a man's hat. There you go.
And following that up, wafting stock.
Wafting stock, exactly. So, again, the name of the indie band that will play at our bar, Girth and Syrup. So, So poor Benita anyway. So she burnt the stock, which meant she was serving up a meal minus the stock, and the whole idea was to, and I'm going to use the words, ready? I'm going in. Hero the stock.
Oh, God!
Hey, they used the word hero in the introduction tonight. We didn't even make it past the initial voiceover.
No, I just have to say, Aaron, cake is not an ingredient.
Yes, when you said cake is the vital ingredient of this.
he said, I'm going to hero the cake.
As the main ingredient,
Because the cake is the hero ingredient. It's like,
Yes.
fuck me, I didn't know cake was an ingredient. I mean...
Cake is comprised of multiple ingredients. This is what we explain to you here on MasterChef.
Take 3 cups of cake.
Let's have a look at the arch window. What's he doing? He's making a cake.
Did you know I used to be friends with the little... Well, not, she wasn't a little girl, I knew her as a teenager. Her mum was Dr. Bron on Play School. And I'd, seen the surgery and stuff.
Did you meet Hamble?
No, because it was in their surgery.
Why haven't you met Hamble?
Because I didn't meet Hamble.
We're trying to get all of our references to Hamble out now, given that, Benita's gone. And the Play School jokes we had lined up were really good. And we can't burn them all in one fell swoop, so we just have to mention Hamble all the time.
So I have a theory I'd like to put forward.
Oh, here we go.
In terms of why Benita's dream is to hold long lunches.
Okay, go for it.
For women. Okay. I think Benita's been holding long lunches, but only for inanimate dolls and teddy bears. And that she's had to craft all the plates and stuff out of crepe paper and cardboard and glitter and stick glue. And she's had to use like a plastic teapot and pretend there's tea in it. So I think her real dream is to have an actual long lunch with actual people and actual food.
So what you actually think she wanted was friends.
Sounds so terrible. Oh no. See, we sound like we're bitching about people, but it's all done with love, and it's more done with
I think you worry more than they do, don't panic.
I know.
Everyone knows we're doing it with love.
Because, her friends call her Benny, and so all night we've just been going dun, dun.
Okay, can we just clarify? Let's just clarify. All night, we've been going...
Okay, I've been going Benny and the Jets.
Hasn't been annoying at all. There's been no annoyance at all in the concept of Benny and the Jets being sung non-stop.
Particularly when it
Every time she comes on screen, all I hear from next to me is dun, 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 dun.
Mind you, everyone on the gantry missed a trick because they could have gone, Benny, Benny, Benny,
Call and response.
Benny, 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 get your broth.
By the time they said that, it would have been burnt.
I know.
And
that's
therefore,
probably why the broth of it, because
they cut it out for rights issues because Elton John wouldn't give him the. Benita was relying on them to tell them the broth was burning, and unfortunately they were too busy singing to her.
Yeah, they'd organise their call and response.
On
Sarah's
the plus
there
side,
on her side.
On the plus side, she had a mohair suit.
She did.
I read it. I read it in a magazine.
Yeah, she also had electric boobs. My favourite misread line.
Not good to be around broth with electric boobs. I'll tell you something now.
It might have been why, evaporated her electric boobs got near the broth.
The mohair suit saved the rest of it up. Anyway.
I'm imagining Gary there trying to taste the broth by wringing out the mohair suit. My cheeks hurt. Okay. What were we talking about again?
I don't remember anymore. With that in mind, so Benita goes home. We enter Sweet Week. Finally, and far more importantly, that stupid fucking graphic with the floating ice cream can go away.
McGinnis, you've got an ice cream.
It's a floating ice cream. It's attached to a helium balloon.
It's light.
I'm going to predict it's not actually the balloon that lifts it. I'm going to predict magnets.
No.
Again with
Illuminati.
Again with the magnets. So, Sweet Week.
Sweet. We finally get to see the fluoro wall of flowers.
It's Mish's time to shine.
Yes, and Callan's. Callan's going to be right in his element.
He will indeed.
And what's his facey?
We'll probably see
call him Henry, but it's not Henry.
We'll probably see some Brian as well.
Brian! How could I forget Brian? Oh, Brian, you gonna cook some sweets, Brian? Oh, look, temporary chocolate. Ooh, I think you're making a. Ooh, is that a? Oh, yes, I think it's a twill.
I won't lie. I literally mentioned Brian then just to get the impression.
Yes, you did.
That was the whole reason I mentioned it.
Indeed, you did.
So...
I'm sorry, it's so shit and you all have to put up with it.
It's wonderful is what it is.
It's so much better than my accent.
It's my favourite impression you do. Anyway, so with that in mind, we will be back on Sunday night to start talking about Sweet Week.
Sweet.
Oh,
you know what we need to do is they need to have, like, after the Sweet Week, they need to have a Dude Week. Sweet dude. Sweet dude. What does my week say? Sweet. What does my week say? Dude.
You know, there's enough hipsters in the kitchen to pull them off. By the way, I still don't know who everyone in the MasterChef kitchen is. They're still at that point where they're inventing people.
No. I'm me. I know everyone now, I think.
Well, that's handy because I still think they're inventing people.
Oh, there's Samuel, because that's why I was getting confused, because I'm going, oh, that's a Sam too. And like, you're like, no, that's Sam. And it was because I knew that, I thought that Hipster Boy was called Sam, but it's Samuel. Like, he's the Samuel.
He's not Samuel, he's Samuel.
Samuel with no socks.
There's no E in there. It's just Sam-U-L.
Like Connor for real.
Like Connor for real. Anyway, this has been The Washing Up. I've been Chris.
I've been Kristie.
And you've also been hilarious.
Is that with you, darling?
Thank you very
much. Set him up also and knock him out of the park.
Thank you very much. And
Go with me on my tangents.
And thank you as well to the Twitter squad and all involved in my roll call.
Yes.
The roll call's very fun to do and you're all amazingly awesome and wonderful.
It also helps him hone his roll call skills for school.
It really does. So thank you everybody for that. It's been really good fun. Looking forward to more catching up. We've got a few ideas coming up. We've got a couple of big things we're hoping to be able to do this week as well. So stay tuned for that. And we will catch you later.
Ciao.